We consider ourselves a little bit of concert experts.
Just a little. More like we've been to who knows how many shows in our lifetimes.
It's probably over 100 each. We're going to give you some tips and tricks that we've learned from our 10 plus years of traveling for shows.
Whether you are having to drive an hour to the venue or fly across the country or the globe to see your favorite artist, here are some things you're definitely going to want to know before you go on your trip. So first, we recommend travel with your friends, travel in a pack, because you never know what will happen, especially if you're driving. You want to take turns on who's driving there. Your cost is going to go down because you're splitting either the gas cost or the hotel room. Also, like, it's so much more fun to have this experience with your friends than if you just went by yourself. But if you want to go by yourself, do it, girl.
Just be safe.
So, driving versus flying. With flights, you need to book them on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, flights are actually cheapest. This is a fun fact. Whether you're traveling for a concert or just for fun, this is when you need to book your flights. And they say usually around like 6 to 8 weeks out is when you can get the cheapest flight for a ticket. So 6 to 8 weeks out on a Tuesday, buy your flight if you're preparing to go to a concert. With driving, we recommend gas up beforehand. You know, my sister and I have driven from Louisville to Nashville to go see 5 Seconds of Summer. Make sure you go to the grocery store beforehand, get a lot of snacks, get some Red Bulls, and have the car all packed up and ready to go. Especially if you're planning to go to multiple shows on the tour, you don't want to have to go to a concert and then already be tired and then go stop somewhere to get food and drinks and get gas and then drive to the next city. Another thing, Airbnbs versus staying in a hotel. So Carlin has had a lot more experience traveling for concerts than I feel like I have. You want to talk about kind of the difference between hotel, Airbnb?
I think especially like Gen Z is very quick to be like, oh, Airbnb, like it's easy, like I don't want to stay in a hotel. However, I think it depends on the city that you're going to. There's a lot of factors, how close it is to the venue, what the minimum check-in age is.
Yes, this is something you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
With hotels and Airbnbs, there's usually an age minimum.
So a lot of hotels are 21 plus. There's more options on Airbnb if you're younger. So I found that a lot of Airbnbs are 18 plus. It's a lot more expensive to book a last minute Airbnb than it is a last minute hotel.
So true.
You have to think about things like the public transportation system in that city. So for example, if you're staying in New York, I went to New York to see Harry at his residency, and I made sure the hotel that I booked was in walking distance to a subway station because we used the subway the whole time we were there. So there's a lot of different factors that you have to think about when booking.
Make sure to stay in a safe area. Because a lot of the venues in major cities, I feel like a lot of them honestly aren't usually in the best parts of town. And so it might be worth taking a 10-minute Uber or the subway or whatever to get yourself closer to their day of show. Also with hotels, if you're old enough and you have a credit card or you are in any of the reward systems, hotels might be the way to go because you can use points to try to get a hotel room.
If you're using a hotel, chain hotels are more reliable than a standalone hotel just because you know what to expect. There's more reviews on it probably.
Also, usually staying at a hotel, especially one kind of in the like lower to middle price range, most of the times they have the free breakfast. So you can also get a meal out of it, which is good.
A lot of people struggle with knowing when to actually arrive. I would recommend at least getting there the day before the show. So if the show is on Friday night, get there on Thursday. That way you don't have to be stressed, especially if you're flying. I also think too, this depends on where you're sitting. So if you have seats, obviously you don't have to get there super early. If you're in the pit for a show, a lot of times if you want to be like closer to the front, you have to get a wristband at a certain time.
This is for like hardcore fandoms.
Right.
We're talking the Harry Styles, the Justin Biebers, the Taylor Swift type people.
Right. A lot of times venues will give out wristbands the morning of the show. You know, if you're in the pit, you're going to want to get there the day before so that you know that you're there on time and you can get a good spot.
Make sure that you look on the venue's website because they might have a no camping policy and that might change things. Pay attention to what other fans are posting about who've already gone on the tour. With a lot of these bigger acts, especially if you're in the pit, you really do need to plan ahead.
Next tip I recommend, I always buy my ticket first and make sure that I have a ticket to the show before I travel somewhere.
Yeah, and this really depends on your risk tolerance. Some people might be good traveling and maybe you have a family member to stay with and it's not expensive to go and you just want to risk it and try to get a ticket there, but we really do recommend having a ticket beforehand.
I also recommend looking at how long it's going to take you to get to the venue from where you are staying.
And this has to do with all transportation. So like driving
Right.
in Atlanta, woo, like, you know,
Traffic.
it could double, quadruple your time to get there.
Right.
So make sure to check on Google Maps or Waze and peak traffic how long it will take you to get there so you do not miss any of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are planning to travel to go to a concert, make sure you follow these tips, make a game plan, make a little group chat, share it, make a Google Doc or iPhone note and share it with whoever you're going with. Because you really do want to be prepared in these situations and have fun. You know, you're getting to travel to see some of your favorite artists and hopefully with some friends that you really love, and you'll get to have these memories for the rest of your life. So we hope you have so much fun, and if you have any other traveling tips, please leave them in the comments below.